Hello, everybody. We are back with Clara Bellino of our midweek Bellino Break interview series. This one is on lifestyle music factors. We're talking about how one's life or anything outside of music just really affects the way they write music. Clara, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm really happy to be here with you and to get to be home talking with you at the other side of the country, asking me questions. It's pretty cool.
Yes, technology is awesome. I will not disagree. How do you find that your overall health helps you play music? I know a lot of musicians express how yoga, for example, really helps them play or concentrate, or how a lot of vocal coaches suggest eating very well for or having just overall good diet for helping with singing. So I just wanted to see how that affects you personally.
Well, I think definitely your health enables your ability to perform well and to sing well. I know that I'm somebody who's happiest when I'm physically active, and I feel that I've got oxygen in my body, and I on a daily basis I try to. It's not like I do it every day, but I garden, and that provides me some oxygen and physical activity. And I love to walk, and I wish I practiced yoga more. Maybe someday I will. I think I should. It's important also in terms of singing, for me to practice some cardio activity. But health is also based on obviously activity, but also on what it is you put in your body. And it's not that I consider myself a health nut, but I happen to really love healthy foods. I'm a pretty, I guess I could call myself an organic health nut. I mean, I grow most of our food. I do better when I'm in good shape, when I have, cardio endurance, and I can breathe and I feel healthy, and that gives because your whole body is muscles, right? And so your vocal cords are muscles too. And so the healthier you are, and the happier they are, and the more you can breathe and have endurance, the better it feels for me to sing. So it's very connected. Health is very connected to the ability to sing comfortably.
Going beyond that, how do just everyday events or just certain things in your life, how does that affect your songwriting?
It does a lot. I think whether I co-write with somebody and we choose a subject, it seems to me that no matter what, you're pulling on your life experience. And so whatever your life experience informs what you're going to feel like saying. I don't necessarily, write about my day-to-day experiences, but that's where the wealth of the information comes from in terms of, writing a song and choosing the subject. And there's subjects that are the most interesting subjects to me to share, are the subjects that are kind of universally experienced. And so anytime I come across something by observing other people in my own life, or through my own experience that, I know hits a chord with everyone, that obviously to me is a good subject to explore and to share.
Where do you find the time to practice your craft, to write the songs? How do you find the time?
Well, I have to make the time. It seems to vary. It's like there's months where I'm like, okay, the first thing in the morning I'm going to do is just focus on my songs and practice. I practice vocals a lot in my car as I'm driving around, because I tend to drive quite a bit. I write almost daily. I find the time sometimes in the cracks of my days. But I find that, being consistent, even if it's an hour a day of writing, is important to kind of invite the muse to be part of your life. And so I also embrace intuition when it happens, but it seems to happen more if I'm consistent with doing something on a daily basis. So I decided, I said, okay, this month in the morning from 8 to 12, my schedule is uninterruptible by anybody else. At that time is when I'm practicing. And it's a challenge, because there's always people you're dealing with who want you then. But I just find the time. I just, it's something, it's important to my well-being and to my happiness and moving forward on whatever project I'm working for. So I look for the time and I make it on a daily basis somewhere.
So speaking of time, there's often times when inspiration just strikes at the worst possible time. I know me personally, it happens when I'm like 20 minutes from home and I got something in my head. I'm trying to keep it in there, As soon as I open the door, it's gone. So what is either the most consistent or the most inconvenient time music strikes you or inspiration strikes you?
Well, the most inconvenient time is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. I mean, I occasionally in a dream I'll hear a symphony and I'll hear the whole like bass line in the thing, and I'm like, oh, I'll wake up and I'll go, unless I find a way to translate that, I'm gonna lose it. I literally occasionally I hear this whole thing that I'm like, wow. And so that's the most inconvenient time. But sometimes I've worked on a subject for a while and I wake up again at 3 in the morning and I go, that's the lyric. And I will actually run over and over into our kitchen and just write down stuff. That's not very convenient, right? So I try to make sure to always have a pen and a piece of paper with me. I wish I could say that I always have something I can record on. Well, actually, with a smartphone these days, you can just go, and you can sing your best ability to, I have occasionally at 4 in the morning ran into the kitchen and go, boom, 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 whatever it is, just to have some kind of recollection, because how dreams are. Those are some of the most, I think those are the most inconvenient times. It's like middle of the night between when you're in your deep sleep and you hear this thing, and sometimes you don't even wake up from it, and the next morning you wake up and you go, oh, what was that?
And I know the feeling. It's tough. Okay. All right. Well, it was great talking to you about all these things. It's always really great to get into like how just everyday aspects of writing and being a musician just factor into how you write and be a musician. So it was really great to hear your viewpoint on it, as well as some of your little anecdotes as well.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your thoughtful and questions, and that I have something to share about it.
Cool. All right. Well, that's it for this MBB Bellino break interview, and we'll see you guys next time.